Hi guys, Julie here. I'm in beautiful Baker Park, walking around the lake. I've got Freya with me, the husky. She's 3 years old. She's in her final week, goes home in just a few days. So in this final week, we're off property every day as much as possible. We are really trying to expose these dogs to different environments with distractions, holding them to the same standards we did in the training room with all the new skills they've learned. We really want them to generalize all the training so that it doesn't apply just in the training room, so that their owners can actually take them out and still have them listen. Cue the remote collar. So we've got squirrels, cars and dump trucks driving by, tons of squirrels actually, tons of people. The route we're about to take has a lot of people going to and from, and dogs and ducks and anything else you can think of, baby strollers. And again, we're just asking her to perform the same things that she's done the past couple weeks in lower distracting areas in a busy place like this out in the real world. Then we transfer it all over to her owner. Right now we've got her in a nice heel, hands-free, so one hand filming, one hand holding the remote. Leash is attached to my waist, and we got people walking by. Right? I'm just making sure she doesn't leave heel, she doesn't lunge at them, even in a friendly way, because I want her to be prioritizing me. A runner going by. Good girl. Now I've got my remote collar for positional errors or behavioral errors. So let's say she did decide to move towards a stranger, lunge towards a stranger. I would correct and then I would recall her back to me. So it's pretty easy. But I really want my dogs going home prioritizing their owners and only approaching strangers if they're invited. Such a beautiful day to walk the park. Okay, let's talk about position. When you have her in heel, she should be at your left side, slightly behind you, following your left leg. She should be turning with you when you turn. And if you look at the shadow, there's a gap between her head and my leg, and that tells you she really is behind. Now, what do you do if she moves out of position? The most common thing that Freya does is she inches forward, especially if you're taking a long walk. She almost forgets she's in heel, and she'll go back to her old ways, and before you know it, she'll be 3 feet ahead of you. So what I like to do is when you notice her starting to inch forward, set your remote, speed up on purpose, and then abruptly slow down. And if her head shoots by your leg, you press and hold. So she won't do it now because she's really tuned in with me. But if she did shoot by my leg because she wasn't paying attention, I would press and hold till she got back into position, release, and then I would repeat it until I couldn't get her to mess up. Good. Then you know she's really tuned in. I love that. Another thing you can do is stop, and if she doesn't sit, click the remote. Good girl. That tunes them in. Good, my sweet girl. To get her in heel again, you're just going to tap the tone, tap your left leg, and start walking. You can say heel also. Freya, heel. And now you're moving again as a unit. Such a beautiful, beautiful walk this morning around the park. Here she gets exposure to cars. Some dogs either want to run towards the cars or run away from the cars. What a beautiful heel position. Okay. As you can see, we've got a bike coming towards us, and my expectation pretty much remains the same with Freya. Just stay in heel. Good girl. Not fazed at all by the bike. Some dogs bark at it, lunge at it, want to chase it, some want to run away with it. Not fazed by the people. So she's doing really well. We're going to stop and do a downstay up here. Down. Good girl. So I don't click the remote because she listened. Very good girl. Give her some praise for that. And the downstay, as we've discussed so many times before, is literally just having the dog lay down and then stay until released, no matter what's going on around them. Even if I walk away, add some distance, even if other exciting things walk by her, she stays. Now, if she doesn't and she makes a mistake, the pattern would just be NO, click the remote, and say down again. Let's do a tone recall. That's where I'm going to tap my T button here, and she'll come to me and sit her down somewhere at my feet. Good girl. Sit. What a good girl. And she lays down. Perfect. Let's get her back into a heel. So to get her back into a heel, I'm going to say heel, tap my tone, tap my left thigh, and start walking. Heel. Good girl. And we're back into an off-leash walk all around the park. Beautiful job.